Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Weekly Warrior Preview. I'm Donette Logan with Jerry Young, and Jerry, it is an exciting week here for football in Alabaster.
Well, it is. It's a week we've all been talking about all year, except we haven't talked about it because we had two other important games before we got here. But it's Thompson-Hoover week, and we're geared up just like everybody else is. Now, Thompson went down to Foley. They handled Foley without any problem, 47-0. It was 34-0 into the first half, 21-0 into the first quarter. I want to tell you, TD passes to J.B. Mitchell of 11 and 1 yard, and it just ended up being six for catches for 74 yards. A good job by J.B. Mitchell. The other receiver, Michael Petway, ended up catching 7 balls for 96 yards. He had touchdown catches of 8 and 23 yards. And then Shadrick Byrd out of the backfield caught one for 20 yards, and he scored another one on a run of 13 yards, as well as Sam Gators. Let's get him in there, a run of 59 yards. So big scoring for Thompson this week. Will it go over into Hoover, or are you about to face a different defense?
And those stats is kind of what I think led into this week's poll. Thompson moved up to number 1. Hoover dropped to number 2. Were you surprised by that?
I was not surprised, but I'm glad that Hoover didn't go but to 2. I didn't want them at 7 or 8 thinking they had any more to prove than they already do. They're coming off a victory from Thompson the last time we played them, and to be honest with you, they went on and won the state championship after beating Thompson. So I'm glad that they're 1 and 2. It's a lot of hype in the state, a lot of coverage. I mean, it's going to be standing room only at the Met. It's going to be a great ball game.
You spoke with Freeman earlier. What does he have to say about it?
Well, I asked him. I said, you know, we went to practice, and this is one of those things that we tell you about that we have access that nobody does. This is one of those times when we can get information. But I sat down with Coach Freeman. I asked him, what does he expect this week from Hoover?
We circled this game on the schedule. We don't want to admit that, but we did. This biggest game in the state, and know that. Talk a little bit about what you expect this week.
It's big for everybody. It's big most of all because it's a region game, and of course it's Hoover, and you got to play them at some point of the year. I really think it's a blessing to play them early. We can take what we did really good and build on it, and things that we need to work on, we can come back and work on them. And like I said, it'll tell us a lot where we're at. We by no means have played anywhere near perfect these first 2 games, but we're able to get away with wins. And so this week, any mistake we make probably will be glaring, and it'll give us something to work on from here on. And we go over there and play good. Don't let the first 5 minutes emotionally get us out of our scheme and plans and what we want to do, and just go play. And I feel like we got a chance to beat them again.
Leah spread the ball around last week against Foley. I think it was 3 different players, had 2 touchdowns. But talk about the wide receivers. I know Mitchell and Smotes are good. All of them are good, really. But let's just kind of spotlight them a little bit this week.
Well, they have. Mike Petway started for us last year. He's only a returning starter. And Kyle started for Huffman, the game Huffman. Kyle's a really good man beater. He runs really good routes. And then you got JB and AJ have been playing on the other side. Trey is coming in now, learning what to do. And Chris played a lot last week, and Chris had a lot of good catches. And now we throw to our backs in there. So we got 6 or 7 guys that we feel like we can throw it to, and they've done a really good job of catching the ball when we do throw it to them.
Shadrick Byrd came in. I think he caught a touchdown, ran one. He's workhorse in the backfield, and I know he's got to be fired up for this game too.
Yep, it's Shad is that guy that comes to work every day that you can always count on. If we want to do anything different in the offense, he's really smart. He understands all that stuff. I love Shad Byrd, and like I said, when I got here, I knew enough about Shad. He was one of the first guys I found to make sure he was in and wanted to play and all that. So I'm proud of Shad, and like I said, I pray he's going to have his best game of the year Friday night.
All right, let's move to the defense. Shutout. Don't know if you expected that, but it's always good to get one.
It is, and you know, we're so young over there that every week we're trying to get a little bit better, but we don't have a lot of experience. This week they're going to do a lot of shifting and trading and changing leverages and changing our strength calls, and we're going to find out how smart our young guys are, and we've got to cover George, make sure that we get him covered up and don't let them have easy throws to him. And like I said, we're going to face one of the best running backs in the state, and we know we got to tackle him. It's going to be a good test for our defense.
All right, the question everybody's wanting to know all across the state, who's going to start at quarterback?
Why do you ask me that? I'm not going to tell you. So don't ask me.
Coach Freeman, thank Thanks for joining us, man.
I love y'all, man. Thank you.
See you.
I want to thank Coach Freeman for his time and being gracious enough to give us that interview. Let's talk a little bit about Hoover, Donette. Hoover coming off that loss, which dropped them to number 2. They played St. John's, which is a team out of Washington, D.C. We won't say university, but it's a great school, okay? They come in, they handle Hoover 42-14. Of course, Hoover won their first game against Pinson Valley 52-14. So they're coming in this game 1-1. Thompson beat Hoover in the regular season. They beat them 32-25, and then Hoover came back to beat Thompson in the playoffs by a score of 31-12. By the way, Hoover and Thompson have played each other 22 times.
Oh, wow.
It's 21-1, okay? Hoover holds the record, 21-1. So don't think for a minute that Hoover doesn't know that and Thompson doesn't know that. So we'll see a lot from Auburn commit George Pickens. He's a wide receiver. He had 7 catches last week for 119 yards. And also Robbie Ashford, the quarterback, just a sophomore, one of the best athletes I've seen in a long, long time. He's going to make a name for himself at Hoover. And also, Hoover has the #1 field goal kicker in the nation.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, Will Reichard is going to be the field goal kicker for Hoover, so he's much heralded too. And, of course, this game being on TV and all that's going to be just even more hype. But you can always listen to it as you can every week. Donette will be on the sidelines this week on the Warrior Nation Network. You can download the MixLR app, or you can download the Thompson Warriors app, or you can go to the website, Thompson's website, and click on the link and listen to it there. So we'll have it all along with Seth Hagan this week as well.
You talk about the Hoover players we'll see. One of the Thompson guys I know we're going to see a lot of action out of is going to be Kyle Smoke. I had a chance to talk to him to find out what goes into the mindset when your first 3 games are away. Talk about that mindset when you're going to that. You're traveling on those buses. What's going through your mind heading those games?
Just treating it like another game, like a business trip. We're still gonna have fun with it and all, but we just gotta take a serious approach to it and know that we just gotta do what we gotta do.
This stadium is impressive. It's obviously the talk across Alabama how Thompson's looks like a mini university. What do you think you guys have an advantage for practicing on a field like this?
I mean, we used to have the best of the best all around the state, in my opinion. We got the best coaches, the best equipment in the weight room. We used to have so many tools that we can use to make us the best.
What do you think on the player side makes you guys the best?
Player side, I think we all work as a team. We all have really good chemistry, with our quarterback. He's a really good leader on the offensive side, as well as Chad and a few other guys, defensive players like Will Connor. We're close on and off the field, and I think that helps us on Friday night.
You're the second one that said chemistry, so I think that seems to be a theme throughout, is the chemistry you guys have. And you're not a young team. You've been around. This team's been around. You've got a lot of upperclassmen. For the younger guys that are coming on and looking to play at Thompson, what is a word of advice you'd give them?
Well, I mean, us older guys are just trying to set an example for them as it is, and I think their mindset just be to work hard always. You're going to face adversity throughout practice, throughout games. That's just a part of this game. It's part of the sport. But just always keep working.
Let me ask you one last question. What's the biggest lesson you've learned from football here at Thompson?
It's just taught me how to be more of a man on and off the field. It's taught me a lot of life lessons that don't even involve football. Just, on and off the field, in the classroom, just around the house with my family and stuff like that. So
that's a good lesson to have. Jerry, we're hearing a common theme here. I know we're on week 3 of our show, but teamwork, chemistry, facing adversity, these are all things that we're hearing from all our Thompson players, and it shows.
Absolutely, and Kyle Smoke's going to be such a huge factor in this ball game. Thompson is going to want to play ball control, and he is the go-to guy for ball control. Now, to keep Leah free where he can have the time to get it to Smoke, of course, is going to be Eric Mizell. And Eric is one of my Twitter buddies, actually, and follows us on Twitter, and we have a fun time talking there on Twitter. But he's going to be a big factor as well.
I put Eric in the hot seat this week for a 2-minute drill. Take a listen to what he wants to be remembered as at Thompson. Okay, Eric, I'm here with you. I almost set my clock a little early. I want to do a 2-minute drill with you.
That's fine.
Are you ready for that? Ma'am. Can I ask questions? Okay, we're going to set our clock. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what's the biggest lesson you've learned from football so far?
To keep working hard every day and never give up. Like, never. That's the one thing I've learned. Never give up. I mean, you're going to be a student athlete, and you're going to go to school, and you can come here to practice every day, and you're going to work for about 4 hours. So.
What do you do to get hyped for a game?
Oh, probably just listen to music.
What kind of music?
Probably my rapping music.
Who's your favorite artist?
Probably Childish Gambino.
Don't even know who that is. That shows my age right there. Who inspires you the most?
My mother, actually. She really does.
Why?
She actually works till like 3 o'clock in the morning, and just seeing her work hard, like, they keep me like in my house, like put food on the table and all that, and it just makes me so happy that she does that for me.
Do you have siblings?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I have 2.
What have you learned from your siblings?
How
not to fight?
Yeah, how not to fight. Yeah, we fought a little bit, but just enjoy life, basically. They taught me to just enjoy life and meet new people.
We got about a minute here. Yeah, see, it goes by quick, doesn't it?
I'm good at this.
Tell me one thing about Freeman that many people may not know. Don't get in trouble.
So he's a large vocabulary, not cussing or anything, but like
Uses big words.
Uses big words and that nobody knows, and he just used a word today we didn't know. He's like, he needs to be an English teacher.
We're going to add dictionaries to all your bags. How about that?
Yeah, the Freeman dictionary.
How would you like people to remember you when you leave Thompson?
I just want people to remember me as being that guy, you know.
That guy.
That guy.
That go-to guy.
That go-to guy.
You got 15 seconds. What's one lesson you want to give to young warriors?
I'll work them all.
Jerry, I think that's one way everyone wants to be remembered, as that guy.
I think so too, and this is the week to be that guy. I mean, this is as big as it gets, number 1 against number 2. You know, everybody circled this on the schedule all year long. We just don't want to talk about it till it gets here. We had 2 big games we had to get through, and we're 2-0 now. We're playing good. Hoover's 1-1. You don't need any more hype. I mean, this is as good gets, to take it from a country song. It doesn't get any better than this if you're a high school football fan. So you come into this game, number 1 against number 2 at the Hoover Met. It's supposed to be perfect weather. You can listen to the game by downloading the Thompson Warriors app, or you can go to the App Store and download the MixLR app, or you can go to the website and click on the link. But if you download the app, you can take your phone with you and listen to the game while you're watching it. We'll be calling the game. Donette will be down on the sideline bringing you, injury reports, that sort of thing. So if you want to know what's going on, we'll be able to do that. So that's a good way to listen to us too. But getting back to 1 and 2. I don't know. There's nothing else to be said. I mean, if you follow high school football in Alabama, I know there's another big game down the I-65. Prattville and Phoenix Central are playing each other. But as big as that game is, it pales in comparison hugely. This is the game in the state. We'll be there to call it. I want to thank all our sponsors here on Alabaster Living. This show that Donette and I do every Thursday night wouldn't be possible without you.
No, thank you guys so much, and thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys Friday night at the Hoover game and next Thursday right here on Alabaster Living.